2. We are here at the French Grand Prix around the Circuit Paul Ricard. I'm your host, Follow Monkeys, and I'm joined here by ISRL Esports. So tell me, Stunek, how you doing?
Doing great. Excited for this race. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited for the race too, and I'm excited to see what the drivers have to offer. Not quite a full grid this time around. 17 drivers, so close enough to it. Vex the Vexter has just joined. I'm not too sure if we were expecting him. Either way, we might see him in the race, but we're just waiting for the first drivers to get started on the grid. And it's hard to say from the views we have, but is this is it a wet session, do you think?
I'm not sure. Trying to load up the YouTube stream right now. That way maybe one of the drivers that are watching give us some input from their point of view. But other than that,
cloudy
super
and dry.
excited if last week was any indication as to how Tier 2 is going to go. This should be good for us as well as everybody watching at home.
Oh yeah, now we've got Elbico. It looks like he's the first driver out to get a flying lap started, or at least he's going out as in his out lap now. And I saw cloudy and dry for the weather report, at least from what our insider sources can say. And there's a yellow flag early on in that second turn. That's Jaren, who's out of qualifying before it even started. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Let's try the onboard of Damsey to see. Oh, he's in the wall, it looked like. And I think he had a bit of an incident on his out lap right early on. Maybe a bit of trouble with the temperature and the tires, but there we go. That's his qualifying. Strange. Yeah, a little bit upsetting if you're Jeroen. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to start from the back of the grid now. But we'll see if he can make up for that with a strong showing in the race.
Absolutely. Tier 3 was a good race, as me and you were both involved. As we noticed, the tires are a little bit harder to come to grips with here on this track. I don't know whether it's the weather or anything that has to do with it, but tires, we ran many sessions during the week ourselves to just determine that sometimes people were doing soft mediums, others, like myself, try to do a medium to hard, and the strategies are going to be completely different. But the one thing that we saw in Tier 3 that we don't know we'll necessarily see in Tier 2 is safety cars. And that could change the complexion of everyone's strategy. So, been interesting.
Oh yeah, and we haven't seen too many safety cars, at least so far in the at least in season 3. I don't think we had any last week, but we got at least what was it, 1 or 2 of them in the Tier 3 race earlier today. So we might see them. But I'm kind of happy you brought up the tires, because it is definitely a talking point around this track. I'm seeing some drivers, they're on the soft tires, but realistically, even if you set a decent qualifying time, you're probably going to have to pit within the first 5 laps. This is a 27-lap race, so then you kind of have to just figure out whether or not you want to do like a soft medium, a soft hard. Personally, I'd rather start on the medium tires because it gives me a bit more flexibility on what I want to do come the first pit stop phases.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of a glitch on my screen. It says that everybody is on the softs, and I'm on board with Damsey right now, and it's very clearly on the mediums. And as I look on the stream, there's a lot of medium runners, and there are dots of soft red tires there, but
yeah, but
I'm having a little problem on my screen, so.
Oh no! So I just noticed Tomasello. He's out. I think I saw him in the wall there. Let's see, is that Lewis coming up? No, that's Damsey. Let's get to him. Get the onboard. I'm not too sure what happened to him. But Tomasel, he's out of qualifying too. So not a great showing for, I think, both the oh my goodness, the AlphaTauris, at least in qualifying, as Elbico crosses the line, setting a 130.9 on those medium tires. And now it's Jordan, who's also out of qualifying.
Yeah, I think he just retired in the pit, just said, you know what, he's going to start at the back, just take the free tire choice and go from there.
Yeah, I guess there's something to say about that strategy, but it's a little, at least set a time, because you never know what'll happen. As, yeah, more drivers are setting times. Ivory Brian Mike set a 131.6, so nothing too crazy, but that's just the first lap on the medium tires. And yeah, Chris, he sets a 130.8, so that's good enough for provisional pole, at least early on.
Yeah, we should see these times ramp up as the session goes along. We might see some people that thought they would have the pace on the mediums just trying to go for points, just really give it a go on those softs, just mix up their strategy. to coincide with how they qualified during the race, you can expect at least one person to try and do that. But yeah, it looks like so far these medium times are actually really good.
Yeah, as Gexy, he crosses the line and sets a 1:30.2 on those medium tires. So maybe a bit more true to pace, but he sets a pretty nice time there. Nice little 4/10 gap, but I'm actually riding with Vito now as he's coming around the final corner. He's on the soft tires, so we'll see what kind of time he can put up on that faster tire there. He crosses the line, and he's going to take pole as I expected. That's nearly a 1:29 flat.
A full over a second faster than the medium runners, but this track, especially on a hot lap like he probably did to put in that 1:29, because you're looking close to almost high time trial times, but those tires are not going to do. He might have the pace at the start of the race, but
oh no. Oh no, they'll definitely fall off early on. I'm even seeing Lewis, he's on the soft tires too, but he only sets a 1:30.6. I mean, still good enough for provisional P4, but maybe not as good of a time as we might want to expect to see from Lewis, just given Vito, the only other comparison, he set nearly into the 1:28s.
Oh yes, Jordan had a quali ban as the stream let us know. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, stream.
Boss and Pikachu 076, thank you.
Yeah, stream chat coming in clutch. Thank you so much for letting us know, giving us a nice little reminder. Let's hear, Lorenzo's on an outlap. Let's see what he can do. Still has a decent ways to go. With about a little under 11 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So we've got a few drivers. Looks like they're trying to set more than one time on the medium tires, at least from what I can see. But yeah, I think Matt's improved actually. He's at a 1:30.3 now. But now he's invalidated, so he's probably going to dive into the pits at the end of this lap.
I'm just trying to pull up the standings and the race results last week so we can give you guys some refreshers.
Yeah, it gives a refresher, see where all the battles are. And it'll also help us maybe take a bit of an insight as to who we should keep an eye out for. But here, let's ride with Lorenzo now, as he's actually truly going to cross the line now to start his flying lap. And we'll see what kind of time he can put. He's on the medium tires, so probably going to be right in the mix of things as he's coming around the first few turns. Decent line there from what I can see. But this next section here, it is very tricky. He looks like he's taking it pretty well, but here when you come into this next right-hander, it's very easy to go wide and take on a lot of tire wear, I find. Does a good job just barely staying on track. Now he goes down the back straight. Lots of speed to be had here if you take a nice straight line. Don't wiggle around too much. Yeah,
Max
so
out
far.
at 206.
What was that?
Max out 206 miles an hour on the mediums. He had a great exit out of it.
Oh yeah, great exit. Nice speed. Oh my goodness, nice speed there he's had. So far it looks like it's going to be a pretty good lap for Lorenzo as he's coming into this the final sector here. Yep, 129, nearly 129 flat is the time to beat if you want any chance at pole position. With a little under 9 minutes to go now in qualifying. We'll see if anybody can beat that. As it looks like more and more the drivers are getting those soft tires on, or at least getting them ready to go for their next laps. As Lorenzo crosses the line, what's it gonna be? Good enough for P6. It's a 1:30.7 for him on his first flying lap. So not a bad lap if you ask me.
That was pretty solid. Alright, so I have the results from last week. As we remember, the reserve driver from the ISRL Academy who made his way into, I believe he's into Tier 1 with that pace, won from pole, and it was never even questioned, because, I mean, Lewis and him had the battle, but Lewis unfortunately disconnected, so Lewis ended up into the back of the grid, but ISRL Vito sits atop the points and atop the qualifying session so far, so he's leading with 33 points, and if we go further down the order, we have Gexy in second, and Thomas LB, who's unfortunately DNF'd here. followed by Chris, Cruz, Iverbryn Mike, Jordan, Lynn Machine, Bloomberg, and Matt to round out the top 10. Everybody obviously after the first race is separated by margins, especially in the lower half of the field. From the top 10 down, you're talking mere points. So it's all to play for still.
Oh yeah, especially with I guess 17, 16 rounds to go still in this here in season 3. Still lots to play for, but you know there's something to be said about consistent point finishes. It could go a long way, especially when you're coming down right to the wire where every single point matters. As Elbico, he crosses the line, a 129.1, so good enough for provisional P2 on those soft tires, just as we were riding on board with them. Now let's quickly jump to Iverbryn Mike, as he's also on the soft tires, looking to improve on his 131.0, nearly 131 flat.
Yeah, Vito also out for a second run on the softs. A lot more drivers than I expected to just take a stab at the soft tires, so I see a lot of early pit stops here in this race.
Oh yeah, especially, I mean, if everyone's going on the softs, if qualifying position is where you want to be, of course you want to be as high as possible on the at the end of qualifying, but you know, if everybody's going to set their times on the softs, then might as well go on the softs too if everyone's going to be on the same strategy. But if I'm Klunenberg sitting up into P3 with a medium tire time, you know,
wow.
I'm pretty happy.
That is an amazing lap.
Yeah, but we'll see. Still lots of time to go with less than 6 minutes to go. And let's see, Brian Mike, he crosses the line, and there we go. He takes P3 away from Klunenberg. He sits a 129.9. So there's still a decent gap, so lots of time to be found with those soft tires if you so choose to do it. As I'm going to jump to... Blend Machine, I was going to jump to Blend Machine, but he's invalidated this time, and he's going pretty slowly there, it seems. I'm not too sure. It looks like he might have run out of fuel, just from what I can tell. There we go. Did I jump just in time for Catastrophic to leave the pit lane there? Or was that, I think that was Cruz actually heading out.
Across the line. Can he improve?
Yeah, 128.7.
Yes. First driver hit the 128.
Yep, 3/10s faster than what he had initially set, and he just grows the gap between himself and everybody else. So, you know, I expect a strong showing from Vito, at least from what he's showing in qualifying and what he showed last race too.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I was reading. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I'm just saying I expect a strong showing from Vito, given what he's shown last race, given what he's showing in qualifying. He's definitely got the pace, I would say, to compete for the Tier 2 championship here in Season 3.
Yeah, you can't count him out, for sure, especially sitting at top of the championship standings right now, and provisional pole as well. So, but what I'm seeing right now, we're gonna have a mixed bag of strategies, and we'll get to find out. I hope the Tier 1 guys are actually going to be watching this just to get a glimpse on what they could possibly do depending on their race style and how they do it. But a lot of the guys in Tier 3 ended up just starting on the mediums. Everybody really did, except for people further back taking a risk. But this is a mixed bag, and it's going to make everything more interesting.
Oh yeah, at least in terms of the tire choice, it's really 50-50, at least for now. I saw lots of drivers, they set their medium tire times early on, so I feel like a lot of them are probably going to end up setting times on the soft tires here before the end of qualifying. Just because, you know, when you're doing your tire choice, I think you really only get one medium tire for quali, at least from what I can recall. As let's actually ride with Chris. He's on the soft tires. He needs to improve on his 130.8. He's only in P10, so he's going to be locked into the tires he qualifies either way, at least if qualifying ended right now.
Oh, what is this? Damsey is cutting the track to make it back to the pit.
Oh, is he now? See,
yeah,
he's invalidated.
Tire for a section.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Not even stopping as he's going through that chicane. He's flying to the pit, I guess you could say. Oh no, and there we go. That one was caught on stream at least.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be a qualifying man.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep, the stewards will definitely have to take a look at that. As I'll jump back to Chris, this is a purple sector too, actually, so I got there just in time. So definitely on a good lap, Chris is on those soft tires. So let's see how he can finish it off, and can he try to compete with Vito for that provisional pole and maybe swipe it away from him with 2 minutes to go? As oh well, Damsey actually retires from the session now. So all of that and didn't even matter since he retired as soon as he got into the pits. But enough about that, as Chris is coming down the start-finish straight. Runs out a DRS right at the end. It bumps him up to P2, 129.1. So still nobody able to get close to Vito's 128.7. And we're down to under 2 minutes to go in qualifying.
Yeah, as Cruz sets out on a set of softs too. We got Ivory Mike on his out lap. Don't know if he's going to make it. Yeah, he'll make it back to start his lap. Cruz is on one, I believe. Lewis is on, getting ready to start. Oh, he's finishing his lap on that set of mediums.
Yeah, we'll see. There we go, up into P4. Nope. So, yeah, what a lap by Lewis on those medium tires. So really working the strategy. So at least for now, it looks like he's the only one of the top 10 who's going to start on those medium tires. But we still have a few more drivers who have yet to set their times. Ivory Brian Mike is one of them, and I think Mats, if he can make it around in time, he'll be another driver at the very least. And we're seeing even Gexy, he's on an out lap, so we'll see if he can make it around in time. Honestly, I don't think he will, just given how much time is left and where he is.
Yes.
But, you know, we've seen surprises before. Here we go, let's ride with Ivory Brian Mike, at least for now, because he's actually on a flying lap, from what I can see. Let's see, he's going to come up to a McLaren pretty shortly as he sets a purple sector 2 once again. We're seeing a lot of purple sector 2s, at least on my end. Let's see, is that Blend Machine? Yep, oh, okay. There we go. Good job by Blend Machine getting out of the way, not impeding Ivory Brian Mike too much. As there we go, this is the end of qualifying. We're just waiting for all the drivers to cross the line one last time. Vito on provisional pole for the moment, but looks like this is going to be a good lap from Ivory Brian Mike as he's coming down the start-finish straight, pops the DRS. What's it going to be?
I don't think it's enough, no.
Nope, he actually went, looks like he lost so much time in that third sector that that just completely killed the lap for him.
Blind's on a hot lap.
Yeah, Blind's on a hot lap. I'm keeping an eye on Mats too. As I'll see what Mats can do, then I'll jump to Blind. Blind's kind of on a do or die right now, just because he hasn't set a time just yet. As Vito, he leaves the session. Hopefully he can get back in here before the start of the race. I'd hate to have more connection issues affecting the outcome of the championship.
Absolutely. And because he didn't start the race, if he doesn't get back in, he's not going to be able to start. And that would be... Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see it, especially after such a dominant qualifying showing as he had. As Mats is crossing the line, can he better his time? He bumps himself up into P4, which brings Lewis down to P5. So not a bad lap by Mats, but he's on those soft tires, just like just about everybody else. Let's jump to Blinn. It looks like it's a good lap, at least so far. It's valid. We'll see if he can. Climb up a few spots here at the end of qualifying. He's coming down the start-finish straight now.
He's gonna get a good slipstream.
Yeah, nice little bit of slipstream, and there we go, up into P5. And Gexy's gonna cross the line. It doesn't matter because his time is invalidated there. Looks like this and next laps, so that was very unfortunate for Gexy. He's gonna have to settle for P11. with that 130.2. So, you know, not a bad showing in qualifying. It seems like if you weren't in the 129s, there's a good chance you're not in the top 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's actually take a look.
You
Oh,
gotta,
oh no, go on ahead.
you gotta think that Lewis. I think Lewis is in a good position right here. His time's not too far off from what the software that we're using, but he's setting himself up to potentially one-stop this race and starting in the top 10. He's gonna start on those medians, but it's been shown that it can be done. So it's just whether or not pit stop these other guys, the extra pit stop that these sophomores are going to have to take. If taking one less pit stop, Lewis can take advantage of that. Because you know he's certainly got the pace, so this is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got the pace. Now, I also noticed I went on the best lap time, and I see Klunenberg he's down in P10, but he's also set his time on the medium tires. So he might have a bit of an advantage, even though he's the last of the locked-in cars. If he can hold off the likes of Gexy, Tommy, Damsey on what's most likely going to be that fresher set of medium tires, he might be in a good chance of I don't know, a surprise showing here, given everybody else in front of him is going to be on those soft tires and are going to have to pit that much earlier. Now, oh, there we go. Just as I was about to say something about it, we're finally finishing up qualifying here and getting ready to load into the race. And there we go. Let's run through the grid. Vito starting on pole. Hopefully he can get back in. And if he hasn't already, Chris locking out the front row with them in P2. Elbiku, Matt, Splin Machine, your top 5. And then below that, we've got Lewis, Lorenzo, Cruz, Ivory, Brian, Mike, and Klunenberg to round out the top 10. Gexy behind him with Tommy, Damsey, Tomasel, Jaron, Catastrophic, and Jordan, who rounds out the grid with that qualifying ban. So you know, I'm excited to see it. Most of the top 10 on the soft tires, only a few of them on the medium tires, but you know, we'll see how the strategy has to play, and who knows, maybe we'll even see a safety car or two this race too.
It's never far off from a safety car. I know there's a lot of runoff, but those walls come up quick.
Oh yeah, lots of high-speed chicanes, I'd say. And given what we saw in qualifying with, what was it, 3-4 driver retirements on track just due to incidents, I think these first few laps could be, you know, could make or break some of these races, I would say. So I think we're just taking a bit of a breather. We're waiting for the okay from the marshal to start the race. So I'd just like to take the time to tell everyone at home. Oh, and there we go. It looks like we're going to be starting up since we got a few okays. So with 20 seconds to go, I just want to say, if you like what you're watching, getting excited for the race, please hit that like button, subscribe, even hit the bell so that way you don't miss any uploads or streams that we've got coming on into the future, as we're just about to get ready to start the formation lap. Now, Stunik, do you expect any surprise showings here now that we're getting into race time?
Oh, I've learned. Whoa, Vito is the only one that gets off the line. As oh yes, I don't know if he's gotten back into the session. No, he hasn't.
Oh no.
Tier 2 was affected by this as well last week with Lewis, who was fighting for P1, and we see here Vito, who's sitting pretty on pole, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate, as those at home are actually getting the pit strategy. So the game is saying a 2-stop either way. I think I was saying a soft medium, or even a soft medium hard for some reason there. So we'll see what's going to happen in practice as soon as the formation lap is done. So let's take a look, and yeah, so as I suspected, other than the top 10 who were locked in, every driver from 11th to 17th all starting on the medium tires.
Just trying a look at the stream is Vito said that he can't. I'm not sure what he means by can't, but we'll see. Oh yes, I'm getting the same strategy: soft, medium, medium, soft, medium, hard.
Yeah, so a bit of an interesting strategy the game is pitching there. Oh, there we go. Vito just joined back in. Hopefully, he can take control of his car in time to start the race. I mean, just missing the formation lap. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either.
Certainly better than missing the race, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely, 100% better than missing the race. No, I'm gonna switch the gap to the here. No, no. Okay, interval. The detail to the position changes, just so we can catch early on if anybody's gonna fall from the fall down the grid due to an incident. As the drivers are lining up, so we're just about ready to start the actual race. The moment we've all been waiting for here. Here, can we get a? Nope. Oh, Vito left again, so hard break now as we're about ready to get the 5 lights started. We hear them, we don't see them. There we go. It looks like, well, there's Vito going off for the races. And there we go, everybody else running behind him, so a bit of a jump start here. But here we go.
Vito got kicked out again.
Yeah, Vito got kicked out as we're seeing the drivers race through the front of the grid. Lots of battles going on. Lewis already up 2 positions, up into P4. Looks like everybody makes it through cleanly. Vito in first is got a head. Oh, Lorenzo goes wide. Yeah, I wish I got more panoramic shots here so I could see. Hang on, did I see that? Yeah, it looks like that's Damsey and Jaron going wide. And oh my goodness, that's Jaron into the wall. And that's his race over just like that. It looked like there might have been a bit of contact with Damsey in during that incident. But I can't say for certain. As now we've got a full safety car that came out for that incident.
Wow. This changes the entire complexion of the race.
Yeah, so what is everyone gonna do with the safety car on lap 1? Do you just hold steady, or do you go into the pits and maybe get on a set of hards or something like that, or even a set of mediums?
Someone's gonna risk something here.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. And the projected strategy, if you're on the medium tires, medium to hard or medium soft mediums, is what our tire tracker is saying. But let's take a look, and yeah, there we go. We've got Chris coming into the pits, and it looks like everyone is going into the pits from what I can see, at least in terms of the top 8.
Aside from Vito's ghost, it's just...
Yeah, and what's surprising me is that I'm a little shocked that that Lois is going into the pits too. He's getting off those medium tires pretty early. Where honestly I thought he was gonna stick by them for a little bit longer, but we'll see. Okay, a little bit of a rainbow selection for the tires. Some on the hard, some on the medium. Ivory Brian Mike going on the softs there, so I think he's gonna try to make up some time while everyone's bunched up under the safety car. But yeah, there we go.
A lot of positions just staying out.
Yeah, so we have Gexy up in, provisional P2 for now under the safety car, with Vito still in first after sticking the AI sticking to the strategy there with Lorenzo up into P3 already and Damsey into P4. I'm not too sure if he was truly involved with that incident, or if it was just a racing incident or not. But I'm sure the stewards might have a look at that at the end of the session during the stewards report. But we'll see. But right behind Damsey, we even have Thomasel, Jaren's teammate in that AlphaTauri, probably looking. I wouldn't say revenge per se. Oh, never mind. I wouldn't say revenge per se, but probably looking to avenge his fallen teammate, at least in terms of maybe beating out Damsey in terms of points at the end of the session. We'll see.
They got 11 positions, as well as Matt's down 10.
Yeah, but they all dove into the pits. Now, if you're the likes of Chris, Lewis, and Elbiku going on the hards, right early on lap 1, I mean, if you're on the soft tires, yeah, for sure, if you're Chris and Elbiku, but if you're Lewis on the medium tires, would you have gone into the pits, or would you have stayed out for a little bit longer?
It's a hard decision to call, because you got to think that he, like Kluberg right now sitting in 6th, he's the first person to start the race to use medium tires. But Lewis had to think that he was going to come out just with the same guys that were just on the soft, so he had to make a different strategy call because it was just been a sitting duck on the restart.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point. I was just thinking, you know, even pitting on lap 1, even under the safety car, I really don't think those hards can comfortably make it. Oops, sorry about that. I don't think they can comfortably make it to the end. So you're probably gonna have another pit stop, at least before the race is over. Right. So even if you would have stayed on the mediums, you could have at least, you know, given the one stop a chance still. But
all these hard runners and Chris and Elbiku, they're not going to be able to make it to the end. It'd be a miracle.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely see as we're just waiting for the safety car to do its rounds and come in. Hopefully the safety car can come in this lap.
There's trouble in the back.
Yeah,
Lewis.
oh my goodness, what's that? Lewis and Elbiku, there was a bit of contact there. I saw the penalty but didn't see the incident. But just like that, they're all the way down at the bottom of the grid after
they're both missing end plates.
Yeah, it looks like Lewis is a little bit worse off. So very, very unfortunate. Is just as they get on those hard tires under the safety car with a great strategy potentially, they're just gonna have to come into the pits again. As let's actually jump to the front of the grid. As we're getting ready for the restart, switch it back to the the position change interval, just to see if we can catch anything that's happened. But here we go. We're gonna get started soon enough. I hope you're all ready. Watching at home, we'll see. Can Vito's AI hold on to the position, or will Gexy take first? On the restart. Oh my goodness, such a bit of a slower restart, but there we go. Gexy kicking it off right from the get-go, jumps into P1, but look, the AI flying. We're 3 wide now.
He had to give the position back.
He had to give the position back, and Damsey up into P1 all of a sudden now. Didn't even see what happened there, but he just flew by on the restart, up into P1. Gexy makes the overtake stick this time around, up into P2. And Lorenzo now trying to get past his ghosted teammate, but he's going to have to fight off Tomasel. But there we go. They're all getting by him fairly quickly. But yeah, look at that. Damsey up into first, Gexy in second, Lorenzo in third, and Thomas in fourth, at least early on.
And look how far back Lewis and Elbiku are going to come out of the pit.
So I'm hearing word that Vito actually lost power, which is why he was getting disconnected.
Oh, yeah,
just to.
The stream chat, he wasn't able to take control of the car either.
Oh, okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. As I think his car is just gonna fall down the grid now, because normally those AI cars are a little bit slower than the rest. I lost out on the interval gaps, as this game loves to do, so I have no idea who the close battles are. Let's just scroll around and see what we can find. Oh, it looks like there's something going on here, at least with Chris, Cruz, and Jordan. There we go. Cruz actually makes a nice little move as he goes up into P10.
Gexy into the lead.
Nope, yep, Gexy. Oh, Gexy passes Damsey up in the lead. There we go. We've got the gaps back. Finally, after I feel like we missed them for so long. Now let's take a look. Lorenzo right up at the back of Damsey, who's kind of losing out in a little bit of pace on those medium tires, it seems. Lorenzo, he's on the soft, so probably would have more pace, at least generally speaking. But Damsey doing a good job of holding him behind.
It'll allow Gexy to break away.
Well, let's see. I'll quickly jump to Catastrophic because it looks like he's closing up on Tommy, but he's gonna have to watch out because he's got a nice little train behind him of cars. As Kludenberg, he's struggling to get behind Vito. Everyone's so close. I want to catch everything, but I seem to be missing everything, at least early on. Here we go. We'll see. Looks like Jordan and Cruz battling it out. Oh, Jordan goes a little bit wide. It looked like. So Cruz is able to hold on to that P9, but Jordan coming right back now, not giving any room to breathe as he tries to go around the outside. But Cruz and Catastrophic, they touch. We got a nice little onboard from Jordan there to see what's going on there. So it's a nice little 3-car battle that we've got here, battling it out for P8. Nobody wants to give anybody a bit of room as Gexy sets the fastest lap at 133.8. As I think we might be able to breathe, but maybe not for too long. Cruz takes a penalty there on that first turn. Very notorious for it, I'd say.
Oh, that's ambitious. Oh, Cruz diving up and doing it again. Do they touch? No. Oh, they do.
Oh, touch. They do touch. Oh, they're pushing each other wide.
Give an inch.
Nobody wants to give an inch.
Oh.
No, Ivory Mike makes it through. Jordan. Oh my goodness. And yeah, that's Jordan actually side by side now with Catastrophic. Cruz getting the worst of that. Let's see, Jordan down the inside. Now let's see if Cruz is going to try. I think that was Blinn and Mats. Let's see, there's so much going on here. Yeah. Yeah, the gloves are off. We might be seeing a bit of civil war here at
these Mercedes.
Yeah, with the Mercedes garage. I want to go look at other things, but I can't take my eyes off the side-by-side battle. Catastrophic still able to hold off. Oh my goodness! And yeah, there we go. Cruz gets a little bit of tailspin there, and almost gets passed by Chris as Lorenzo, he goes into the pits, so he's getting off those soft tires after a mere 5 laps. So that just goes to show exactly how long they can last. But who's that? Was that? Oh my goodness, that's Mats. I think he's struggling a little bit on those tires. I saw a bit of a wiggle, and it was also McLaren that went a little bit wide around that last turn. The Blinn Machine trying to go around the outside, but gets pushed off a little bit by Mats with the move there. So Mats able to hold on to that P12. There's lots of action going on, at least in terms of the back of the grid here. But I still want to keep an eye on Ivory Brine Mike, because he's right up close to his teammate Tommy. They're side by side now, actually, and it looks like Ivory Brine Mike is able to make the move up into P6, and it's that Jordan who's also going to make a move on Tommy. Yes, he does, fairly easily. So Tommy goes down to P8, and what was that? There's
Catastrophic. It's just running into everybody today.
Yeah, a little bit of contact, as now the Mercedes are back to going side by side once again. We'll see if Cruz can actually make the move stick this time around. It doesn't look like, as much as he's got the inside line. Let's see what's gonna happen. It looks like a little bit wide. What a great view we've got, game, and it looks like Cruz is just able to get the better of Catastrophic, but no, Catastrophic coming back. They're still side by side, and it looks like Catastrophic gets the better of Cruz, at least for the time being, but Cruz really isn't giving any spots. He tries to squeeze around the inside, now the outside, but just can't make it work, as Blinn Machine now is going into the pits.
Oh, Chris is sitting behind.
Oh yeah, now Chris is trying to. Chris, oh my goodness, they're 3 wide. He gets pushed away.
Oh boy.
Oh, and there's contact now with the Mercedes. Catastrophic pushing Cruz wide there. Yeah, Catastrophic, you need to take a bit of a breather and realize you're fighting your teammate here. You don't want to get the both of yourselves out of the points just from penalties or even worse. Oh my god, what was that? That was Mats that tried to move on Chris. As I'm just riding the onboards here, because it seems like that's the best angles we're gonna get for this battle. And I want to jump to what's going on up to Damsey and Vito. So you know what? Maybe once I get a bit of a Bit of a break I'll
Cruz
be able to
darting down
see.
the inside here.
Oh,
Oh
and
my god.
they're trying again. And Catastrophic
No
still.
friends were made today.
Oh no, no, full civil war going on in the Mercedes garage, this time, at least this time around France. But who's going to get the better of who is the question I want to see answered, and I'm sure everybody else at home wants to see answered. And oh my goodness, look at that. That's Chris and Matt's going side by side in formation there. Nearly. It looks like Chris is still able to keep that P11. But we'll see for how long, as we've got this great 4-car battle going for from 9th all the way down to 12th. But give me a quick second to see, as it looks like Vito's, is it Vito's AI, or is that Vito keeping up with Thomasel, as Gexy's got a nice little 3-second gap now going. But Klunenberg getting really close to Damsey, as let's keep an eye on this for a little bit, or as I say that, Damsey, he's able to create a bit of a gap. So you know what, let's go back to this battle as we tune in just in time for Mats to try a move once again. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of contact there, as I saw the hand go up, but it looks like Mats is able to promote his way up into P11.
Cruz gonna look to make a move again here.
Yeah, he's going to look to make a move, and I think the Mercedes might have taken a bit of a breather, at least for the time being. Yeah, it sure does, as Cruz is holding back, biding his time. Let's actually take a look and see what the ERS levels are looking like. So they're similar, at least for the Mercedes there, as Cruz went and used a little bit. Now what about between here in just a moment, because they're so close to one another again. And no, they're still
Vito is taking control of his car, because he's not Ghost anymore. He's churned into these laps.
Oh yeah, he's definitely keeping up pace too, it seems, because normally the AI would just be falling. So we'll see if Vito can actually salvage maybe a win. He's on those 8-lap old soft tires, so he's gonna have to pit at some point. As I see Cruz has a little bit of a bump with Catastrophic, as they're all stuck behind Tommy now, as he's being dragged into this battle. So got another battler here, and Catastrophic trying to go down the inside. Looks like he's able to make it stick, and Cruz doing it too. Is that Mats? Oh my goodness, Tommy getting overtaken by 3 cars in the span of 2 corners there. So definitely having a bit of an issue is Tommy with those medium tires, as he's going extremely slow. But there we go. Now Chris is going to try to get past, so he doesn't lose out on too much time. Trying to keep up with the likes of Mats, Cruz, and Catastrophic.
We go for round 4 of the Mercedes duel.
Yeah, if at the very least thinks about making the move, dives back inside. They're still very close, but I think they're being a little bit more cautious now. But yeah, look at this. Yeah, Catastrophic just gets a bit of a better.
Look at that.
Oh, what was that? That was Damsey that went wide. So Klunenberg is able to make a move fairly easily on Damsey there. So Damsey falls down to P5, and they're being caught pretty quickly by the likes of Jordan and Ivory Brine Mike, who they themselves are having a little bit of a battle for P6 there, as Vito, he's finally going into the pits, getting off those soft tires. But let's get back.
One stop right here.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's put the mediums on. Okay, so maybe not the one stop, unless he's really good with the tire wear. But here we go. We have Mats trying to make a move down the inside on Cruz. They're still side by side. Mats gets pushed wide a little bit, so definitely elbows out racing. But Mats coming right back to try the outside move. But that doesn't quite work for him too well, as we don't really see a move on the outside get done too much around that particular corner. But we see Chris, he's finally made the move on Tommy, so definitely struggles for Tommy today in that Racing Point car, as he just doesn't have the pace to keep up. But enough about that, because it looks like Mats, he's going to try again. He's going to try the outside this time around. Can he make it stick? They're going side by side, but he's got a bit of a better line. Looks like there's a bit of contact there. But it looks like Cruz is able to keep that spot. but we'll see for how long, as nobody's giving anybody an inch. And it looks like Mats is able to get the better traction, but he has to go wide, so he's probably going to slow down a little bit. But oh yeah, Cruz, he's coming right back, and they're still side by side as they're coming around this this third sector here. But no, it looks like well, I guess Mats is able to keep that spot at least for the time being. But we'll see for how long, as Cruz is just going right back to it. Mats goes very wide, and he actually loses out on another spot to Chris there. And he takes a 30-second penalty just for good measure. As Klunenberg, he's into the pits, getting on those hard tires now. So I think we might actually be able to get a bit of a breather on this battle, as there's at least a bit of a gap. But let's quickly take a look at Jordan now, as he's trying to catch up to Damsey for that last podium spot. He's getting very close, down to 5/10, less than 5/10 now. So we'll see if he can make a move, but there's lots of very close battles on track, I do have to say. Which one are you keeping an eye out, if you don't mind me asking? No, I'm not too sure what happened. Stunek, are you there? Nope, I'm not too sure what happened to a Stunek, so I guess it's just myself, at least for the time being, to try to keep you company with what's going on. Thankfully, there's enough going on track that there's not too much dead time, I would say. Let's quickly take a look at Klunenberg. He's on the fresh set of hards, looking to catch and pass Lorenzo now in that Ferrari car. I think Lorenzo has a bit of a tire advantage, but might not mean too much with the pace Klunenberg has. As I'm just trying to keep an eye on the gaps. Ivory Brine Mike, he's going into the pits, and Catastrophic, he's finally pitting too. Looks like we're actually seeing lots of drivers now getting on those hard tires, getting off their initial set of tires now. So Damsey, he's back into the lead now of the Grand Prix on those 12-lap old medium tires. As oh, we have a safety car. I didn't even see what happened. Is that no? Is that El Biku that was out, or I'm not even sure what happened with the safety car. But yeah, so I guess another safety car out now here on lap 13. As we've got Damsey in the lead, and that's Klunenberg, who's retired from the session. So what's happened? Oh, that's why I didn't see. What happened to Klunenberg there? Is he's just parked right beside the safety car. And that's the end of his race, just like that. So really not too sure what happened to him, but yeah, so now we're down to what I believe is going to be 14 runners now in the Grand Prix. Damsey in the lead, but we'll see for how long, as he's revving up that Williams car, it seems like. All right, not too sure what's going on there. Maybe just a bit of a visual glitch here. But alas, under the safety car, like I was saying, Damsey in first, Jordan in second, Cruz all the way up into third now. But all of these top 5 drivers, they're probably going to have to pit at least once before the end of the race. And there we go. As I say that, both Damsey and Jordan dive into the pits. Cruz right behind him. Mats too. Is Chris going to stay out? Yes, Chris is going to stay out. So he's going to be on provisional. He's going to take the lead provisionally, at least for the time being. He's on the hard tires, so he can go a little bit longer, but they are already 12 laps old, so we'll see. We're only on lap 14, so still half the race to go. So I don't think those tires are going to make it to the end. And Stunek, are you back?
Yeah, I apologize for that. A little bit of a parental problem. So
oh, no worries. No worries. So just
what
to give
have
you,
I missed?
So just to give you a bit of a sit rep, we're under the safety car right now. Klunenberg is out. I didn't quite get to see what happened, but I saw him parked right up beside where the safety car parks up when it's just waiting for the grid to catch. So yeah, Chris is in first, but he's on 12 lap old hards, and everybody else went into the pits within the last 3 laps, I'd say.
This should be good for Lewis. We had the incident with Albico first, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Down the order here.
Yep, he's down in 12th for the time being, but we'll see if all he needs is a good start. Well, actually, he has to catch up to the grid first, but we still have a bit of time. The safety car's only been out for 1 lap, so we're probably going to see it go around at least 1 more time.
Very interested to see the fact that Tommy, Catastrophic, Mats, and Cruz are all together, but it looks like Mats has gone on the mediums and said, I do not want any part of this any longer between these guys.
Oh no, so
I don't know how they went that long doing what they did, and everybody still pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised. It just, I guess it goes to show the, I guess you could say the talent some of these drivers have. Because, you know, that was really elbows out racing, and I'm sure we're probably going to hear a thing or two about that at the end of the session from the drivers. But, you know, for now, it was exciting to watch, I do have to say. And hopefully we can get more of that once we can finally start racing again.
Oh, absolutely. We were promised some good racing here, and it's exactly what we've been given. So.
Yep, so far it hasn't disappointed at all, I have to say. But the safety car is going around 1 more time. Hopefully it's going to come in this lap as everybody's caught the safety car queue. But we'll see, and when it does, we'll have to see who can take advantage of a good start. Who's going to have a good start, bad start. Could play into effect. With the race, and we'll also have to see, you know, hopefully everyone can keep it clean under the safety car and even starting off. Because with everybody bunched up. Nope.
I don't know what Chris is doing, whether or not he's not 13 lap old hards. I just don't see that those would make it to the end. Certainly distance himself in the battle between Cruz, Mats, Tommy, and all that, but he's put himself in a not so ideal situation here.
Yeah, because he's going to have to pit. I think he's maybe hoping that, I don't know, maybe he can keep up with the front runners, or maybe he can, you know, maybe Gexy and Thomas will be battling it out too much amongst themselves, that he can actually get a gap going. Maybe, you know, maybe he's comfortable with his tire wear. Unfortunately, we don't really have too much of that insight here, but we'll see as the race plays on. And there we go, the safety car is coming in. So we'll be able to go back to racing now. Can Chris hold off the likes of Gexy, Thomas, and Vito on the safety car restart on the older tires too? We will find out soon enough, as we're just backing everybody up now, waiting for the safety car to get into the pit lane. Actually, speaking of that,
guys can do.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris was staying close to the safety car, not really giving it too much room. And now we're starting off a little bit slower than usual, I would say, but not a bad restart by Chris. As we're back to racing now, finally, as everyone bolts down to the first turn. Chris is still in first. Not too much change, but actually, Ivory Brain Mike and Jordan going side by side, and who is that? Oh, surprise, surprise! It's Cruz in that Mercedes car, trying to get the better of Jordan. As they're now side by side going through this next section. Was that Catastrophic with a bit of a lockup there, as Cruz is able to hold that spot, and Mats is able to squeeze his way around the inside of Jordan, so he loses out on 2 spots there. And oh no.
There's Lewis back fighting again.
Yep, there's Lewis back fighting Jordan. As there we go. Oh, come on, no. All right, we're good. Sorry about that, everyone. My controller had a bit of an issue. Okay, perfect. All right, I think we're back to normal now. Sorry about that, everyone. Controller had a bit of an issue, but yeah, now I'm back.
See the gap starting to form.
Yep, I'm seeing the gaps.
Waiting for DRS.
Yeah, but Ivory Mike is
surprisingly holding strong out there.
Yeah, doing a good job holding strong. I'm seeing Ivory Mike. He's right up along the back of Damsey. So he's gonna try to get that, get that move done for that P5 spot as he's trying to work his way back up the grid. And look at that, he's gonna try it down the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he thinks better of it. As Mats, I think he just made an overtake on Cruz going into that first turn, but now Cruz is gonna give up. And there we go, Chris down into P2 as Gexy is able to pass him finally, and that's Blind Machine. He goes in DNFs from the race into the pit lane, so thankfully not too much else is going to happen from that, but that's the end of Blind Machine's race. So now the way I see it, if you just completely finish the race, then you get points, as looks like we've got a whole bunch of overtakes now along this back straight. Lewis trying to hold off the likes of Cruz and Mats, who they themselves are battling it out. Yeah, up into P7 already on those hard tires, so solid drive by Lewis now, as he's now trying to catch up his teammate. Damsey and Ivory Mike, they've actually been battling it out ever since the safety car restart. Nobody's able to get past one another, as it looks like we've got like basically two little blips of four cars that are battling it out, because I'm seeing the likes of Chris, Thomas, and Vito. They're all basically one behind another, just waiting for the other to make a mistake. And there we go, Thomas is able to make the move on, what happened to... Wait, hang on, I'm getting, oh, okay, there we go. Chris is finally going into the pits, so hindsight 2020, probably should have pit under the safety car, because he's losing out on so much time now, but he's going on the soft tires, so he's going to try to make those last 9 laps. Yep, and Lewis, he's up into P4 now, flying up the grid now. Ever since the safety car restart, I think it was down to P12 as we restarted, and he's all the way up into P4. Oh my goodness!
Driving with a bit of a pep in his step.
Yeah, definitely has some pep in his step, and looks like he's actually starting to make a gap a little bit on Ivory Mike. So he's definitely feeling those hard tires, I'll say. But you know, oh yeah, but it's gonna be a tough catch for he's gonna have to catch up to Vito, as Catastrophic and Lorenzo are battling it out a little bit lower down the field. But quickly, as I was just keeping an eye on this battle, Mats and Damsey, not giving each other any room, but it looks like Mats is able to hold on, but for how long as Damsey goes around the inside. A little bit of contact there, both drivers wiggling around, but it looks like Mats gets the better of it, and that's Cruz taking advantage of a gap that was formed, and it looks like he's able to make the move on Damsey, stick for the time being, as Damsey, he has to fall down into P8. And I think he's going to be pressured by Jordan now, as he's right behind in this little 3-car battle we have going on. Yeah, speaking of, Jordan trying to go down the inside, and oh no, Jordan spins, and that actually breaks his front wing there as he's gone off. So he. Yeah, lots of damage there, so that's very unfortunate for Jordan, as we got a nice little onboard there for the stream. But I want to take a quick peek at Vito and Thomas, because they're staying pretty close to one another, and even they're keeping right up with DMX Gexy, as they're actually going side by side now, and that's Thomas who takes the lead for the time being, but they're still battling, and we might see 3 wide for the podium. here on lap 19. No, it's not 3 wide. Tomasel, he's into the lead, but with Vito and Gexy right behind him. Vito up into P2 after having those connection issues early on. But looks like Gexy, he's trying everything he can just to squeeze side by side with Vito, but Vito has the better traction. So that's the end of that, at least for the time being.
Well, this is just going to help Lewis catch them if they just keep battling on track. It's going to put Lewis in some podium play.
Oh yeah, and like it looks like in the span of a lap, he brought the gap from 3.1 down to 2.2 pretty much. So this battling for the top 3, heck, we might even see battling for the top 5 if Ivory Bright Mike is able to keep up with everyone. But oh yeah, and for those of you at home, you don't want to leave your seat because the best is about to come. But for now, I'm just going to keep an eye on Lorenzo and Catastrophic because they've just really been battling it out through this entire race, it seems. And they're very close to one another, so we'll see if there's anything that can happen here. Doesn't look like it, at least for the time being. They're close, but no cigar just yet. But hang on a minute. There we go. Vito is able to move his way up into first, passing Thomas on the split stream with the DRS most likely. As now Gexy, he's only 7/10 behind, but he's gonna have to watch out because Lewis closing the gap now down to 1.4 seconds, and he's got Ivory Bright Mike right behind him too. This might be a 5-car battle before the end of the race for the podium positions, and not just one of the podium positions. All three spots probably still up for grabs, I'd say. I'm trying to jump just between these, probably the 2 battles we've got, between Lorenzo and Catastrophic, and then this top 5 battle.
Lewis crucially has no ERS. He has Mercedes been pushing the absolute limit.
Oh, might explain a little bit why he's catching up so much. He's also, his tires are also 2 laps older than the likes of Thomas and Gexy. So that could play a factor come the end of this race, I would say. Now let's see. It looks like there's gaps that are starting to form. Yeah, Vito's back. He's starting to form a gap a little bit now. And I have to say, if Vito starts forming a gap, that's a little worrisome for the rest of the grid, especially the likes of Thomas and Gexy, who are just trying to keep up with him. But they might be caught too much battling themselves, and Vito might be able to run away with it. But Vito, he's on the medium tires, so we'll see if his tires can actually last another 6 laps before falling off a cliff.
Absolutely, you see Gexy's just closing the gap ever so slightly.
Yeah, so we'll actually ride on board with Gexy for the time being. I also want to keep an eye because Catastrophic right up behind Tommy with Lorenzo there with them. He's got the DRS, Catastrophic does. Can he make the move going into the first turn? We'll find out soon enough. He's gonna think about it, but no, doesn't quite have enough room to make it stick. So he's gonna have to stick behind of Tommy. But now you've got Tommy, Catastrophic, and Lorenzo battling it out for P9, while also having to watch Thomas, Gexy, and Lewis as he's closed the gap down to just over a second now. Might even be under a second by the end of the lap. And even Vito, he's getting away, but not, not really creating a gap from the likes of Thomas and Gexy.
Really interesting because Ivory Mike sitting back there too. 9 lap medians.
Yep, as
gap in 6 Mike.
Yep, Jordan sets fastest lap on those on that first set of softs as Catastrophic is finally able to make the move on Tommy. So Catastrophic up into P9 now. And I think Lorenzo, he's also going to try to get it done. Can't quite make it work, but actually no, he throws it down the inside. Can he get the traction? It looks like he does, as he takes a bit of a corner cut there to make it work, and he gives the position back to Tommy, it looked like. So he's going to have to try again a little bit later on. But he can definitely get the move done if he, if he's able to keep it clean on the track. And there we go. He's going to try it again, but not quite much of an overtaking spot here. But as long as he can stay close to Tommy, he can get the overtake done for that P10. They do have the DRS, but I think Tommy gets it too on catastrophic. So I don't think we're going to see anything so far. But maybe along that back straight. And speaking of, let's jump back to the leaders now, as they're just about to start that back straight. Can Vito hold on? Yep, they're all in DRS zone. They're all training. Lewis, I just noticed it. He brought the gap down to less than 4/10 now, it seems. So Lewis might actually be able to make a quick pass on Gexy for that last podium paying position. And are we going to see it happen here on this lap? As Lewis is so close, he's going to try down the outside, but Gexy does a good job defending. Oh my goodness, Lewis practically pushing Gexy through this corner, but he's going to have to slow down. Tries a switchback move. Look at the traction from Lewis as he goes up into P3 now. And now he's going to have to try to close the gap on Thomas and Vito. Now, if you're Lewis, if you're keeping up the pace you have, a win might even be in sight for you with 4 laps to go.
Absolutely.
But what a drive by Lewis. Definitely gonna have to, at least for the time being, I might have to say the, I don't want to say it for now, but 4 words.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, but I'm not gonna say it because I
nope.
don't want to jinx it.
Nope, don't want to jinx it until the end of the race, but so far he's putting up a good case. I want to jump to Lorenzo, because once again he's right up behind Tommy. He's going to try the outside this time around. Looks like he'll be able to make it stick as he gets enough traction and gets enough room. So that's Lorenzo up into P10, and Tommy falls down to P11. And I think that might be the end of that battle, just based on the pace Tommy's had. But actually, speaking of, Tommy's doing a good job staying behind, but it looks like the gap is starting to grow at least a little bit here as Lorenzo, he's going to try to catch up to Catastrophic. Damsey and Cruz still very close to one another. Damsey looking to try to make a move, but that didn't quite work out too well for him for the time being. So no movement this lap, but the battle is still for these top 4 drivers. Vito, he's grown the gap now to up over a second, so that's crucial for him, because now Thomas won't be in DRS range.
Lewis hasn't had more than 20% of his DRS for about 5 laps. He's absolutely pushing and taking everything he can out of that car right now.
Yep, he's taking everything he can, just trying to squeeze every last little bit of juice out of that car, I'll say. It's not the Martin Brundle bingo, but let's call it the Follow Monkeys bingo, at least for that line there.
Absolutely.
But we'll see. He's closed the gap down to 2/10 now. So can we see Lewis make a move on this lap? As Lorenzo, he's left the session now. So I think he might have had a connection issue. But Lewis right up on the back of Thomas, and he can see Vito in his sight for the win with 2 laps to go. Now this is crucial for Lewis to get the move done. Thomas swinging around Lewis. He's got the DRS. He's trying to make a move around the outside, but Thomas doing a good job closing the door. He's going to try the inside, which turns into the outside. They're side by side. A little bit of elbows out, but it looks like Lewis is able to make the move stick up into P2. But hang on a minute, now Thomas is coming right back at him, going down the inside, and Vito is actually probably super stoked about this, because he's now up with a 2-second gap to second, as P2, P3, and P4, they're all battling it out. So now is Lewis starting to see a little bit of trouble with his tires, as actually he takes a 3-second time penalty.
His fuel as well. About.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the fuel, but he's gonna have to think about that too. As now we're gonna start the penultimate lap. As Lewis is starting it off in style, gonna try to make the move down the inside. Looks like he might be able to make it stick this time for good. As he's now up into P2, Thomas behind him. But now Thomas gonna have to watch out because Gexy, he's been buying his time, but he might be able to make a stab for that last podium paying position within the last 2 laps. I quickly jumped to Damsey and Cruz because they got very close, but Cruz doing a good job of holding him off for that 7th spot.
Solid play for the podium here.
Yep. It's all to play for here in the last 2 laps. Vito in the lead, 1.5 second gap on Lewis, who's in P2, with Thomas right behind him in provisional P3, but less than a second behind him is Gexy. It's all to play for these top 4 drivers, I'll say, but even more so Lewis, Thomas, and Gexy. Who's going to be the hero? Who's not going to be the hero? We'll find out very shortly, as we're coming to the end of this 3rd sector now, the last few corners before we can start the final lap of the race.
Lewis still in the yellow for his fuel.
Yep, still in the...
Out and in.
Yep, as there we go. Vito crosses the line. The rest of the drivers not too far behind now, as we're the final lap of the race. Now, we haven't really spoken about this too much, but there's also penalties that could have a bit of an effect on the end result. As Damsey finally able to make an overtake on Cruz on the last lap, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Can Cruz get that spot back, that P7 that he's worked so hard for, as the leaders are starting to go down the back straight now of this 2nd sector. Looks like Lewis has grown the gap up to a second now on Thomas, so I don't think we're going to see too much of a move. Gexy trying all he can to keep up to Thomas, but might be a little too late now, as the DRS is over, and we're starting to see the gap starting to form a little bit more now. But let's take a quick peek at Damsey and Cruz as they're right up one behind another. As it looks like Damsey is able to hold off for the time being in that P7, but there's still about half a race to go for them. Back to the leaders. It looks like Vito's got this just about ready, as long as he can make it through the last few corners, but Lewis closing the gap, but it might be too little too late, as he only has 2 turns to go. As we've got a yellow flag, and who is that? That's Ivory Bride Mike. He went off on the last lap, so he's going to fall down. That's Damsey and Cruz passing him on the last lap. Vito crosses the line in 1st. Thomas takes the win on penalties as Vito falls down the order to 2nd. Gexy up into 3rd, and Lewis falls all the way down into P4 after putting a remarkable push at the end. To try to finish P2 on track. Matt's coming across in P5 with Ivory Brian Mike in the 6th, Damsey in 7th, so it looks like there was a bit of a shuffle with penalties, and Catastrophic up into 8th, but actually we're getting bumped down still as Chris crosses the line and he gets 8th on those soft tires from penalties, with Catastrophic behind him in 9th, and Cruz, who rounds out the top 10. Tommy in 11th, and we're just awaiting on Jordan now to cross the line as Lorenzo comes home in P12, and there we go. We're watching Jordan now. He's going to cross the line, takes the last finishing spot in P13 there. What a finish of the race. Holy moly, what a finish that was. What an exciting race, but what else can we expect from the ISRL races, at least here in Season 3, as there we go, you get a nice little view of the podium there. I think that was Thomas by the end of it who gets to lift the trophy on the podium. Vito into 2nd after putting up such a nice race, but losing it on penalties.
What a comeback by Lewis.
Oh yeah, what a comeback by Lewis. Unfortunately, it fell a little bit short due to those penalties once again. But what a drive, because honestly, from that safety car restart, he was all the way down into P12 and managed to, cross the line in P2, but had to fall down due to penalties there. But oh my goodness, what a race! Now, do you think we'll be able to get anybody in for interviews, or?
I can give it a go to get.
All right, we'll send some invites. We'll see if anybody can, if anybody wants to come in and get some interviews done. Yeah, what a race. So it looks like Thomas takes it with Vito and Gexy rounding out the podium. Here's the rest of the grid as I'm going to go down here. But that was truly an exciting race, I do have to say. It had a little bit of everything. A little bit of drama, some elbows out racing, safety cars, yellow flags, no. And, we actually got Gexy into the party for an interview.
Hey.
Hey, Gexy, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty well. Another podium.
Yeah, another podium. It must be exciting. So how do you feel after that race?
Well, qualifying, I just went mediums all the way, and I didn't care about my qualifying position because I just knew starting on the mediums would help me out, and it did. But yeah, then somewhere when just a lap after I pitted, the safety car came out, and that kind of ruined the chance of a win. So yeah, still P3 because I knew. I think Lewis the name wasn't showing up, but he had more penalties than me, so I just kept within the 3 seconds and got P3, so still pretty happy.
Okay. So you knew that going into the final lap that Lewis had those penalties, I guess, then, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay within the 3 seconds of him, and then I knew I had the podium.
Oh, okay. So Billy, do you have any questions at all?
Oh no, you gotta be excited the fact that the past 2 races have been so close at the front of the field. So this could be anyone's championship at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I think Tom, he's leading the championship right now. Then he's I don't know if I'm a contender, but I've had 2 great races so far. So yeah, the win will come someday, I guess.
Oh yeah, now with these 2 podiums, do you feel confident going into the next race? I think it's the Netherlands.
Well, I'm not the best at the Netherlands, but it's my home race, so I think it will keep me motivated to fight for the win. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure you'll have the crowd cheering you on through that entire race next week too.
Of course.
Perfect. Alrighty. So I think that's about all I've got for questions. So Billy, unless you have any other questions to ask.
No, this is exciting. I'm excited to watch as the season goes on. I can't wait for the Dutch GP next week.
All right. Perfect. Oh, I was gonna say, all right. So thank you so much, Gexy, for joining us here in the interview rooms. It doesn't seem like we're having anybody else join, at least from what I can see on my end.
I mean, you want to get Lewis in here?
Yeah, we can try to get Lewis in here if he's willing to join.
Yeah, let's see. What a great couple of races. With Austria last week, and it's great.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. Honestly, given what we've been treated to in the first 2 races.
Yeah, it will be a great season, for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think Lewis is gonna join.
Alrighty. Alright, so I think okay, so I think at that point we should probably wrap up the stream. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in to that to the tier 2 race. It was an exciting one. Make sure to tune in about 35 minutes time, I would say, for tier 1. You know, the race we've all been waiting for here on this Sunday. So Billy, any parting words? Oh.
Don't think so.
Oh, I guess not. Alrighty. So, on behalf of Astunik and everybody else, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notifications. That way, you don't miss any one of our uploads. And until next time, have a great evening, everyone.